Pike's pushed more and far up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Coming down to
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Look at Tyson! They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the UkSimracers MX5 Season 1 of 2024. It's round 11 from Watkins, Glen. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Craig Jones, who's going to join me here this evening as well. Let's give you a quick rundown of what's going on in the championships. In the pros at the moment is Jamie Ayres out in front with Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman and Ralph Cullinan with Steve Hebbard rounding out the top five. Then you've got Miles Owens, Darryl Wright, John Sylvester, Pete Van Gaal and Ewan Bramer. In the AMs, Fiona Siddons has taken point guard on 806 points, with Colin Sampson on 671. Then you've got Alan Toon, Mick Barry, Dan Lewis, Arnold Chagnon, Callum McPherson, Alexander Longo, and Andy Littler. Then we go down into the team standings. It's Momo out in front, 2,085 with results clothing. Then we've got SimRacers, Swim Race Sweden Esports on 1,904. Work Guard by result on 1,424. Then Pure Sims Year 1, Air Smart Racing, Safeguard by result are the last point scorers. But let's bring in Mr. Jones here into the booth. Hello, Greg. How are you?
Hello, James. Yes, I'm. Thank you. Yeah, Watkins, Glen. What more can you ask for? I love this track. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And I think at the end of the day, it's Watkins, right? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be full amount of racing. It's going to be full battles there as well. Good evening, Phil, across the pond. How are you, buddy? Welcome in as well. Thank you so much for joining us. What do we think is going to happen? We've got a long straight at the back, but however, we have got the bus stop chicane in this one.
Yeah, it's normally a bit of a draft fest, this track. It certainly can be. The chicane in the middle does tend to break things up a little bit. But yeah, I expect to see a lot of close action. They're still going to pick up some draft from the cars in front. So hopefully we'll see lots of cars together. We've got 13 cars on the track tonight as well. So looking forward to seeing these whizzing round this track. Nice and clean, hopefully not too much carnage. It does tend to happen at this track because of the width of the track and the barriers either side, particularly when you're going up through the S's. So that's one for us to watch out for, but hopefully we won't be seeing too much of that.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I think it's going to be nice and clean racing. I think we're going to be in for a good one. We've got Colin Sanson on the screen at the moment. He's having an epic season so far, is Colin. I'm sure he's going to be up or thereabouts when we go into race 1. Don't forget, we've got 4 races here this evening as well. So we'll go race 1, race 2, and then we will have a short break where we will come back for race 3 and 4. Then, of course, we go into the final round next week. I think, to be honest, this season's gone very quick, Craig, hasn't it, really, in conjunction?
It has gone very quick, but I think everything's going good. I don't know why. I can't believe we're halfway through February and almost looking into March. So, yeah, but I think that tends to what happens this time of year as well. There's so much going on, isn't there, and various bits and pieces like that. So, yeah, time does tend to fly. But, yeah, it's catching up very quickly, isn't it?
It definitely is. We are going into qualifying now as well. These guys will have 15 minutes to get a time on the board, and we'll be able to find out what they're going to be able to do here as well. Craig, you've done a few of these races this season as well. You know, what's been the highlight for you so far?
Races in the MX5?
Yeah.
I haven't done any races in the MX5.
No, I mean, you've been commentating on races in the MX5.
Oh, sorry, yes. You'll have to forgive me because I can't see anything on my side, so I'm trying to talk and fix this at the same time. Yeah, I think as a commentator, I've been doing some strange ones with the ovals and bits and pieces like that. So I've seen quite a few variations. I saw Spa, that was quite an interesting one to watch as well. Maybe a little bit like we're going to see tonight with the way the track is and those nice long straights, so we might see some actions going down there. But yeah, it's been good seasons so far. I've enjoyed kind of my ins and outs of doing the commentary and watching bit by bit. It's been an interesting one. It's that funny middle part of the season where, you know, we've got it's normally a year-long championship, and we're doing a shorter 12-week winter series. So it's always drivers tend to take it seriously, but not too seriously. So you tend to see maybe a little bit more battling and trying to for positions, because at the end of the day, if they don't, you know, if it all ends in tears, it doesn't really matter, to be fair. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, it has, and we've seen this man, of course, our very own Sir Alan Toon, now on track, repping it in the ovals. Almost so close. Come on, but that was an exciting evening about that, wasn't it? It was with him trying to get the win, and we almost thought he was going to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still gutted about it now, to be honest with you. You know, it's if we're ever going to see that moment again, I'm not so sure. But it just clearly wasn't to be. So it is what it is. We dust ourselves off and go again, as Alan would say. So yeah, it's you never know though. You never know. This is sim racing, and absolutely anything can happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anything can happen. We were so close to Alan Toon taking a win. Like, it was incredibly close. We were so happy. We were getting excited. And then there was a crash on the final straight on the run. And everybody was involved. And we thought the mystic figure of the work by result of Alan Toon would come emerging out of the smoke like an epic Rodney and Del Boy scene when they were Batman and Robin there as well. But it just wasn't to be. He was just so close, Greg. And to be honest, I think that was one of the greatest evenings we've had, because it was such a laugh. It was so exciting. It just had everything involved in it, didn't it? And that's, I think, one of the things that, you know, brings MX5 racing and brings this league to the forefront.
Yeah, it is, and the community is really behind this league, and that's what I really like. You know, it wasn't just a case of going out racing and trying to be the, trying to win. There was other drivers on that track that wanted Alan to win. They loved to see that Alan was at the top. YouTube chat was going crazy for Alan Toon as well, and that's what I really love about this league. It's a sense of community that you get behind. These guys spend a lot of time practicing for these races, and they put in a lot of hours, and they're sharing setups, they're sharing sort of the best lines and the best practices to eke that time out of every single lap, and that's what I love about the UK SimRacers. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, it definitely is, and one that not many communities have that community feel like these guys do as well. We can see Newman has got some purples on the board at the moment. He's been drafted. Miles Owens, I believe, as they come over the line. Newman should go pole. He does on a 1:23.043 with Owens, Hunt, Van Gaal, Griffin, Cullinan, Sampson, Siddons and Wright. Of course, Darryl Wright, the pro. Where's Mrs. Wright this evening? I haven't seen her in YouTube chat as of yet, and I'm sure she'll jump in when she can there as well, in between throwing the slipper at Darryl.
Hopefully. I want to hear that there's been some slipper throwing going on tonight, because I don't think there was any last week.
No, I don't think there was either, to be honest. It was a bit of a shame. But, I think there was... I think there was a couple of weeks before that, I believe, as well. Because Darryl come in and started moaning. Oi, you've just got me beaten up by my missus, he said as well. Pete Van Goor's on some greens on the board as they come round the outer loop on that run. What will be the penultimate corner, which is, of course, conventionally turn 9 here, is, I think it's going to be turn 5, maybe here, as PVG slots in behind Pete Newman there to get that draft around the final bit of pay. See what he's able to do. He's got an improvement as well. 9.5 minutes. We normally see epic racing, and very hard to see past the MX5 leagues as well, are the best out there at the moment.
Absolutely. I think it's always, this particularly it's always been up there as, if you want to know what sim racing's about, and if you want a great example of what can be achieved on a sim, then these are the guys to do it. I've had the pleasure of racing with these guys for many years. I'm looking forward to coming back to the series when it starts again for the new one. It's like I said before, it's a really great place to race, and I think it really sets the standards really high of what can be achieved in sim racing.
Yeah, definitely can as well. We are back next season, of course. It'll be myself and Alex Goldschmidt joining me in the booth for the season, so you'll hear the sultry tones of Alex on Tuesday and Wednesdays for the JPB GT4s and the UK SimRacers. He will be with me next season. We've lost Craig, we've lost him to racing, so that means we will see him at the back there as well on Tuesday nights. So you can get your shouts out for the man who will be propping up the rear here as well. What's your aspirations for next season, Craig? How are you going to get on, do you think?
Well, certainly not at the rear, hopefully. We'll see. I mean, the car has changed quite a bit, so I'm going to get all the excuses in now before we've even started. The car has changed a little bit, and I've done a couple of races towards the last end of the last season, and they didn't go particularly well. So I need to get my practice in. I need to get my head around the car. Maybe play around with a few setups, see what's going to go on. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to be back out with my mates, to be honest with you, and having a laugh with these guys. And like I said, the racing's always really clean, respectful. It's always a good fight. It's always someone to generally to race as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. So I'm not going to set any. I'm going to, previous and winner. I'll get it out there now. I'm not looking at anything like that, but we'll see. You never know.
I'm sure you'll be down there battling with Sir Alan Toon on the grid as well. I do love a bit of Alan Toon. He does make me so happy when I speak to him as well. Hello, sweetie. That's pretty much every time I see him. He's trying to say that to me as well. Jamie Ayres are off. Where are they going, mind you? They're off into their own little world going out there at the moment, as Colin Sampson is also jumping, and he's gone past about 4 people who have just gone into the pit. So, I think tonight could be very, very exciting. And if you've never seen these before, guys, you are in for an epic show. Sit back, grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, sit there, eat a steak, do whatever you want to do while you're watching this, because you're in for some quality racing. Colin Sampson sitting in the front spot at the moment with Fiona Sin. She's done a great job this season as well, taking the lead in the championship.
Yes, absolutely. We've seen some fantastic driving from Fiona, so absolutely well deserved. I don't think I've had much pleasure of racing with Fiona, but I'm certainly looking forward to it next year.
Yeah, I am as well. I think we'll see how she gets on, whether or not she's going to be able to replicate her winter season and what she's able to do next season as well. Don't forget, sign-ups will be open as well. You can get yourselves involved if you want to come along and drive some MX5. Phil, it'd be a good start for you here, buddy. A nice little feed, a beginner series. I wouldn't say beginner series. You're racing against Craig, so we have to call it that as well. So get yourself involved, Phil. That'd be great, wouldn't it? See Phil out on track with you.
Do you know what? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I mean, he's here every week, and you see him, and he's the first one to say hello. He's a great bloke, so yeah, we'd love to see him out on track. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would as well. So get out there, Phil. Get yourself involved, buddy. I'm going to do some racing in the little MX5s, and it looks like Tom Griffiths may have just had a moment there as well. We've got 13 cars. No times for Alan Toon, no times for Mick Barry. Mick Barry's back this week as well.
Yeah, good to see Mick back. He's been out for a few weeks, just dealing sort of private life getting in the way, as it often does sometimes. So yeah, he's just been out doing a few bits. So yeah, good to see him back, and we'll see what I know he likes this track. He loves this track, so we'll hopefully see some good things from him tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I do as well. So, keep an eye on Mick Barry and see how he gets on. I'm sure he won't be the first one to put it in the barrier. I'm sure it will be clean for everybody. Don't forget, guys, we have got so much coming up on the JPB YouTube channel. Like, we've got BSC NASCAR. We've got, actually, to be fair, just tonight, we've got the UkSimracers going out now. The JPB NASCAR Super Series going out at 10 to 9. And we've got the Project Racing Esports League in F123. That's going out at 9:30. Then at 1 o'clock in the morning, we've got the BSC Round 2 NASCAR Series kicking off. Tomorrow, we've got GT3s. GT4s, I should say, as well. Thursday, there's like 4 broadcasts going out. Friday, there's 3. Oh, dearie me, there's just racing every single day, and a hell of a lot of it. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and turn on the bells. And to top it off as well, we launched the sign-ups open for the Endurance World Tour. 5 rounds of endurance racing. That's open on the JPBroadcasting.com website. And also the NASCAR Full 100% series is open as well for Saturday nights. Get yourselves involved in that, because I can tell you what now, as Pinnacle and NASCAR League's going to go, that is going to be absolutely awesome. We've got the NASCAR Community Cup. We've got drivers from various communities, and I will say this, all coming together. There's at least 4 or 5 communities that are getting drivers involved. There'll be trophies for the solo, trophies for the teams, and trophies for the winning community. So you want to get yourselves involved in that. Everything you see on Daytona, on NASCAR, on TV, you will see on the JPB broadcast channel as well. There'll be driver interviews, commentators on cameras. There will be everything, basically a big old show. The only thing you won't see is me firing fireworks out my bedroom window, because I don't think my neighbours would love me too much.
That's a bit disappointed. I thought you were going to go all out for it.
I am, but I don't think me firing fireworks out my window every Saturday night will be good for the neighbours.
What happens if I come round and I set fireworks out off in your garden?
Well, you could do it.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, go for it, mate. You do it every Saturday.
I like
we
a
run
good
it.
firework. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay, mate. Okay, I'm round and doing that then. Fire them out. You know what I mean? There we go. So yeah, definitely get yourselves involved. It's going to be a heck of a season on a Saturday night. 100% series. What more could you ask for of pure NASCAR? We will be the day before, starting May the 5th. So it will be the day before every NASCAR race that's on a Sunday. We will be taking place on the Saturday before. So you can see the virtual race, then you will see the full the full race as well, depending obviously if you watch NASCAR. I watched the Daytona 500, to be honest, yesterday and today, because I fell asleep last night while watching it because I was absolutely knackered. And let's just say that was absolutely incredible racing. And then lap 190, that's all I'm going to say. If you've not watched it, get to a lap 190 and you can see why and what went on. It was incredible. So yeah, a lot of great action there as well. We've got a minute left of qualifying, and at the moment we've got Pure Simpsons Pete Newman on top.
Well, no real surprise there. We always see Pete Newman somewhere near the front, don't we? So, you know, having said that, you know, Hunt, Rangel, people like that, they're still very, very quick drivers. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I would love to be able to say that I've been able to watch it, but I'm still battling my technical issues in the background, which is not helping things, I must admit.
Oh, is there a problem for you, Mr. Jones? Is it?
I've rebooted everything and I still can't see what you're putting out, James.
Ooh. Mr. Jones, hold on, let me sort you out. Some form of screen share, otherwise you're going to be I'm talking away and you're not going to have a Scooby-Doo as we're coming into the first race here as well. So let me just sort this out with Craig and we'll be right back before we go on to the grid. Let me do the grid really quickly because it's going to go live. Okay, guys, so you can see the grid. We've got Pete Newman, Dan Hunt, Van Gaal, Owens, Ayres, Cullen and Griffiths, Darrell Wright, Sampson, Hefford, Siddons, and we are off and running, and we are green here this evening as well. So UkSimracers MX5 gets up and running and gets underway here at Watkins Glen there as well. Hopefully we'll be able to sort out Craig in the background while we are still dealing with this issue as well. But we've got Pete Newman, Jamie Ayres, PVG, Miles Owens, all running up through the S's for the first time here as well. Can they make it all the way through, or is there going to be a parking lot at the top of the hill? Well, at the moment, Pete Newman, Daniel Hunt, PVG, Miles Owens all made it through cleanly there, Craig. Hopefully you can see on the link I've sent you there, buddy, as we're too wide going into the bus stop.
Yes, I can see some sort of pictures. They're not ideal pictures, but yes, too wide going into the bus stop. Oh, a little bit on, yeah, you don't want to go. Oh, that's not good. Don't know who that was, but there's definitely our exiting stage left there.
That was Mr. Ralph Cullinan there as well, unfortunately for Ralph. And PVG also had a bit of a momentary off track as he's coming in to the bus stop. There you go. That's PVG, he's going to go off, and then we're going to pick up on Ralph Cullinan, who is also off the side of the grass as well. So PVG and Ralph Cullinan there going off the side of the circuit once more. Newman's going to come around and take the lead in lap one here. No Alan Toon. We seem to have lost Tooney on the first race.
That is a real shame. I'm not sure what happened. I know he had some hardware issues, I believe, last week, so hopefully that's not that gremlin coming back. But I guess I'll get a message from him at some point, hopefully, and I'll be able to update everyone on what that is.
Yes, don't forget, guys, as well, between race 2 and race 3, we will be taking a break and going on to a BRB screen here as well. Pete Newman still out in front. Jamie Ayres there in second place with Miles Owens in third. They can see now the way it's all going to commence. Who's going to go? Where's it going to go? What's going to happen? They're almost going to try too wide into the bus stop. Not happening here as well. They do make it all through as they go through the bus stop there as well. Miles Owens, Pete Newman, Dan Hunt taking a lead with Griffiths and Ayres right behind him at the moment here, Craig. Some great action, but that was kind of expected going into the bus stop for the first time.
Yeah, you have to be a brave driver to be going too wide into that chicane, I tell you now. And they managed it almost. There's a little bit of contact from what I could see, but yeah, they managed it pretty well. I have got pictures back on my iRacing, which is good. So now I can see it in high definition and not a frame every 3 seconds, James. That's good.
Well, I think that could just be your internet, Mr. Jones, to be honest, because yours is no better than mine. As we got Steve Hefford now behind Tom Griffiths going down into turn 1. They're going to be hard on the brakes, round about the 50 mark there. On the brakes he goes. He's got to drop down into that little alcove part of the corner. Now he's going to be off. And this is where I think this is where it's all going to take place, Craig, isn't it? On this run up through the S's and down into the bus stop.
Yeah, it's whether you can get the move done before that chicane though. So it's only really at this sort of just as you get around this bend you really start gaining any kind of time on the car in front. So just as you're getting close enough to make a move, you tend to then have to decide and pick a lane. So which lane do you go now? Do you go on the inside? Do you go on the outside? I think playing it safe, just holding back a little bit, see what the 2 cars in front are going to do is crucial.
There is Newman going. He took a lot of curb there, and I'm surprised he's not got a slowdown for that one, because it did look like he took a lot of curb on the exit. Steve Hefford trying to catch up as well. We've got literally 1st to 7th with Ralph Cullinan trying to catch on to the background. So the first 6 are all together. You can see the gaps on the left-hand side to the first 6 is 0.8 of a second. There as Steve Hefford gives Tom Griffiths a slight little nudge in the bottom.
Yeah, but a little nudge. Yeah, it's part of racing, isn't it? That's allowed.
Well,
just a little one.
A little nudge into the bottom is allowed, is it?
Just a little one, yeah.
Okay,
we don't mind too much.
Okay, Tom Griffiths, Miles Owens side by side. Ayres and Newman into turn 1 they go. He's going to drop it in now as well. Now it's a run up through the S's. Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, Jamie Ayres, Miles Owens, all battling away here as well. They're side by side up into this Essex section before they get on to the run. This is where it's going to come from. Miles Owens in the best place here, probably at the moment, Craig. We normally say the 3rd place man is in the better place than the people in front, and at the moment Miles Owens is getting a double draft and a hell of a toe.
Absolutely, trying to make it 3 wide. I don't know if I'm doing that, but it seems to make it work anyway. Just give them a little bit of room, back out of it, just see what happens, let it all settles down, and then you've got next lap to have another go.
We've now got the top 7 with Ralph Cullinan in there as well, the Irishman in the red, white, green machine. Next to Tom Griffiths in his traditional blue, with Steve Hefford in his Momo red and yellow, battling it out here as they're going round the penultimate corner. 2nd to last corner, we've got Ayres and Newman side by side. Newman goes in front at the moment. Ayres is there behind him, unfortunately. We've still got, believe it or not, we do actually have Dan Hunt on the circuit. Dan Hunt there, 1.1 seconds up the road already, Craig. He's kind of cleared the draft. He's just kind of making a run for it like a scolded cat at the moment.
He is, but let's face it, when you've got Pete Newman behind you, you're not safe. And if anyone can bring that time back down, it's going to be Pete Newman. So, yeah, I would be keeping an eye on your mirror if I was you, Mr. Hunt.
And they're into the 8/10 now as well. This is where they need to bump draft each other along. We do see that traditionally in NASCAR, where they are bump drafting. They can make it work here as well. They've just got to work together. They haven't got to be doing what they've been doing. 3 wide into the bus stop, 2 wide going in as well. Jamie Ayres, Pete Newman is just there. They're pulling in Dan Hunt at a rate of knots. These 3 cars working together into the bus stop. They go very close to the barrier. Cullinan's cleared Hefford. He's now setting after Tom Griffiths out the other side of the bus stop. They all make it through currently at the moment. A great job from all of these guys. And now that 1.1 seconds didn't last long for Dan Hunt here. He's pulled back into the pack.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said would happen. Like I said, you've got lots of Pete Newman, stuff like that behind you. They're going to get the time back quite quickly, and especially with a track like this, you can really get the hammer down, and you have to be so precise when you're up there at the front, and you've got that time. You know, you've got to be proper on it to keep any sort of gap going. So yeah, good for us as spectators, because now we've got a first place battle on our hands again.
Yeah, we've got the top 8 separated by 3 seconds with Darrell right there, and the next after that is Fiona Siddons, who's got Pete Van Gaal now. PVG running up the inside there. He's going to drop it into the apex He's going to make that position stand, but for how long? Now let's go back up in front. Miles Owens there, opening up a 1.25 second gap over Ralph Cullen, Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths, but I don't think that's going to last very long, as we've already seen it not last long here as well. Now they're side by side. Jamie Ayres pushing Dan Hunt through. Miles Owens coming in like a banshee. Pete Newman not giving up. He's been hard on the brakes. Now he's got to come out the other side. Hunt's got all squirrely. He's on the grasses. Dan Hunt, now Ralph Cullen, and now Steve Hefford. These top 5, now 6 as Griffiths joins them as well. And the chaos that we thought was going to happen here, Craig, is going to happen with these 6 cars here as well.
Yeah, and this is just the beauty of this track. It just brings action-packed racing just like this. This is what we want to see. Also, all nice and clean so far, which is what we expect from these guys in the UK SimRacers. Yeah, I think we're on for some very interesting races ahead.
Yeah, can Darrell Wright catch up as well? He's got about 8 tenths to Tom Griffiths. I don't think it's going to be hard for him to catch up if he could just stay in that draft. They've opened up the gap behind. Pete Newman weaving left, he's weaving right, he's on the racing line. Miles Owens tucked up right behind him. He's trying to chase him through turn 1. He's trying to get away from Jamie Ayres, who's tucked up right behind him, with Ralph Cullen and Dan Hunt, Steve Hefford, Tom Griffiths all behind them as well. This is where the action's going to take place once more. Up through the S's we go. Jamie Ayres has got a big old run over Miles Owens. If he can make it out the other side of the S's, he can. He's dived out very early here though, Craig. I don't know if I would have gone that early.
No, I do have a confession to make as well. I thought I'd fixed the problem, but it's just become apparent I'm definitely not seeing the same pictures that you're streaming, so I've just had to switch back to the link you sent me, so bear with me.
That's good, considering I closed that link, so let me just get that back up for you here as well, so you can see what is going on. Again, Pete Newman now trying to open up a gap currently at the moment. He goes off the side of the circuit. You've just seen it there as well for Newman. So unfortunately for Pete, he's just gone off the side of the circuit. And now these 4 are too wide, too deep, all the way back here as well. Miles Owens, Jamie Ayres, Dan Hunt, Ralph Cullen, Steve Hefford there as well. Pete Newman trying to run away like a scolded cat. He's on his bike, opening up 1.4 seconds at the moment. Now what's going to happen here? Are these guys going to catch up? Are they going to get away? Is Newman going to take the win early on? We've got 4 minutes already remaining. Where is the opening 11 minutes gone, Craig? Okay, we've hopefully not lost Craig, and he is still here as well once more. But he is trying to sort out his tech issues out in the background, of course. Griffiths just running side by side with Miles Owens. Then you've got in that you've got Hefford, Hunt, Cullen and Ayres further up. Pete Newman has run away at the moment. He's got 1.28 seconds up the road. Side by side, the Irishman and Jamie Ayres with Dan Hunt at the same time, as these guys are battling it out off through the bus stop again. Still fighting it out here as well. They've got to start closing Newman down, Craig, if you are here, of course, because at the end of the day, Newman's getting away. As we wait for Craig to return, I'm sure he's trying to resolve these issues in the background here again as well, as he's having a little bit of a few tech issues here. So bear with us while Craig sorts his thing. He's the joys of modern technology, should we say, as Ralph Cullen slots in behind Jamie Ayres again here with Dan Hunt, Steve Hefford, Tom Griffiths and Miles Owens not too far behind. Darrell Wright slowly closing up, too wide, too deep going into turn 1. There's Ralph Cullen trying to go around the outside. Dan Hunt's opened up a little bit of a gap as well. He's got 6 tenths at the moment as Dan Hunt, as he's got Jamie Ayres in front. He's got to close down on him. Cullen's got Hefford, now with Griffiths. Now we're going to be too wide, too deep again. Pete Newman out in front by 2.1 seconds. So they've got to try and close him down there as well. To keep an eye on this one and keep an eye on all the action that's going to be coming up, because I'm sure as they head through the bus stop, there's going to be enough. Right, here we go again. These guys battling it out. We've got Griffiths behind us, with Miles Owens and Darrell Wright slowly closing in here as well. He is catching Darrell Wright, but Pete Newman is escaping at a rapid rate of knots here. He's going to be coming over the line this time around. Is Pete Newman, 1 minute 23 on the clock. We're going to get this one and one more. Once again, they are off and running for what will be the penultimate lap. Jamie Ayres is trying to escape as well, but unfortunately he's got Steve Hefford for company and Dan Hunt. Not the two people you want here as well. Dual Band 007, good evening, Craig. Hope you are all good. Yeah, Craig as well, 007. I'm fine as well, by the way. Just to let you know there once again. Much love to you, of course, for that one. I'm all right, by the way, just to keep you in there as well. So these guys are battling it out. There's Darrell Wright on the background. He's trying to get onto the back of Miles Owens. We've got Steve Hefford. He's side by side almost with Dan Hunt in front with Jamie Ayres. Through the bus stop they go. Jamie Ayres double taps the brakes. Hefford's going to run wide. Now he's avoided Jamie Ayres here. And now they're going to be the Irishman, Ralph Cullinan's trying to get up on the inside. 2.9 seconds they've got to Pete Newman. Final lap of the race. Hello, love from Bognor Regis, says Joe Band. Oh, Cullinan and Hefford on the straight. Oh, Ralph Cullinan and Steve Hefford, they've just crashed into each other on the straight. How did that one happen? Cullinan's there alongside Jamie Ayres. Ayres covers off. Oh, Cullinan tries to go with him. Doesn't realise Steve Hefford's alongside, and unfortunately for Ralph Cullinan, he is in the wall. Pete Newman 3.1 seconds out in front. He's got the broken the draft and he's away. Dan Hunt almost breaking the draft. Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths and Miles Owens not so much currently at the moment, as these guys are scrapping on here. We think hopefully we will have Mr. Jones back, and then Jill Band, you can say hello to him once more, of course. Hello, by the way, here I'm James Parfitt. I'm in the booth with Greg, of course, and Ayres, Griffiths and Owens runs up the back straight. Are you back, Mr. Jones?
I am back. I have turned everything back on, and I'm hoping that I'm now seeing the same picture as you. So, the car's just going into the chicane?
Yep, coming out the other side. Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths and Miles Owens.
Yes, then I am back. Yes,
there we
now
go.
see everything.
Jill Band has said good evening, Craig, by the way. So, Jill Band has said good evening, Craig. Hope you are okay. Well, hope you're all good. Obviously, I'm not here, so that's fine. You know what I mean?
Well, as I've repeatedly said, people who watch this is purely down to me being here. So, they're not going to be interested to you. Don't actually know who that is. So if you could put your real name in, that'd be great. But hello back, whoever it is. I'm guessing Love from Bognor Regis is someone that I work with. So whoever you are, hello.
Yeah, there we go. We've got Newman comes over the line. Hunt, Ayres, Griffiths, Owens, Wright. And then we've got Mick Barry taking the lead in the AMS. There is Mick there as he gets very close to the wall with Siddons and Sampson behind. Of course, we lost Ralph Cullinan, we lost Steve Hefford, we lost PBG. And Sir Alan Toon, unfortunately, did not take to there as well. Adrian, apparently.
Hello, Adrian. How are you? Good to see you.
There you go. So, hi, Adrian, by the way. Nice to meet you too. As well. It's fine, don't worry. Understand my place here when I've got Mr. Jones in the booth alongside. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the bells and enjoy the racing as Colin Sanson comes over the line for race one. Let's bring you up the full results here as well. As you can see, Pete Newman is your winner with Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres and Tom Griffiths. Currently, that's your top four as they finished this race. Miles Owens, Darrell Wright, and you've got Mick Barry, Fiona Siddons and Colin Sampson with Steve Hefford, Ralph Cullinan, PVG and Sir Alan Toon, who unfortunately did not take to the grid. Into a brief 5-minute warm-up here as well. Great action from race one. I know you missed a lot of it, but overall, it was exciting racing.
From the bits I saw, it was exciting racing, and thankfully I've got the right pictures and everything seems to be running smoothly now. So I'm looking forward to be able to watch race two and actually commentate on it properly and watch it in higher definition as well. So it's kind of what we expect from race one. everyone's kind of on the grid where they should be because of qualification and stuff like that. So yeah, and as we go on through the night, the races always tend to get a little bit more spicier, and that's what we like to see, a bit more spiciness in the race.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be absolutely incredible. Just under 4 minutes left here of the warm-up before we go into race 2. Adrian said he's fine, Greg.
Good. I'm glad we're having this catch up over a live stream. It's it feels the right time to be doing it.
Yeah, it does. I presume Adrian works with you.
He works for me. That's the way I'm going to put it.
No, he works with you.
He works with.
Yes, for me, like you're out there as the boss. Come on.
Well, I am the boss. So.
Are you though?
And he knows it. Yeah, I am the boss. Yeah.
And he knows it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about pulling rank there, Adrian. I wouldn't have come in and said thank you, good to hear you, and all that, and then he pulls rank over you. He is the boss. No, don't tell him that, for God's sake. You're never going to hear the end of it, like I don't hear the end of your 6 trophies.
Yeah, well, when you win something, James, you've got to shout about it. What can I say?
I don't need trophies to prove I'm winning in life, Craig. I've got a lovely wife and beautiful kids and a thriving business. I think I'm winning as well.
Mate, I cannot disagree with you. We should all be more grateful for what we've got.
No, you can't disagree with me considering you met my wife and kids. And my wife talks to your wife, so probably best that we don't disagree there, Craig, because otherwise we're never going to hear the end of it.
No, we're both going to end up trouble, and we haven't really done anything wrong.
Yeah, end up in a doghouse and we ain't even done nothing. But there we go. No. I like sleeping in the bed, so I prefer it if we don't say anything else about each other's wives here. And your wife is a lovely lady, of course, and I do enjoy our conversational banter we have with each other.
Yeah, yours is all right.
You're lucky she's not in the room, to be fair. Otherwise, I think you would be slightly dead next time she sees you, to be honest.
Yeah, and she don't watch this rubbish, does she? Let's face it. So, yeah, I think I'm safe.
No, she just thinks I sit here and waffle on for ages, to be honest.
I know she does, yeah.
I don't think she quite gets it either.
No, I don't think many. So, we've got, obviously, we've had some wives watching some of the drivers here, and I don't think any wife has ever really understood what sim racing is about.
No, I had to try and explain to somebody what I did the other day. They were like, "Oh, you work from home, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, for God's sake." Okie dokie. So I tried to explain to them, and they were just all a bit miffed, should we say, with the words of, "You get paid for this." Like, that's what I do for a job. They were like, "Oh."
Yeah, but not to start the whole debate from last week about racing game, racing simulator, but I think that's what the difference is people are expecting it to be like Need for Speed or something like that, and they don't realise that this is a much more advanced version of it. No, I'm trying to purposely not use that word because there is a difference, and I did explain that last week. But these guys, they're just not here just they take, like I said before, they take it really, really seriously, as do I when I race. And you can't just turn on a PC, press this track that you want to drive around and take the car around and not crash it in the first lap if you've never raced in it before. It's just impossible. It is that difficult, and it is that precise, and you have to get a feel for it, and there's so much that goes into it, and it's such a huge learning curve as well. So it's a difficult one to explain to people. It really is.
It definitely is. As well, it's a very, I don't really know what to put it. It's a very difficult scenario to explain to somebody what I do for a living, apart from the fact they look at me and just go, huh? So there we go. I've given up after that. Right, here is the grid for race 2. We've got PPG on pole with Ralph Cullen and Steve Hefferton 1, 2, 3. Colin Sampson, Fiona Siddons and Mick Barry. They're in 6th. Darrell Wright, Miles Owens, Tom Griffiths, Jamie Ayres, Dan Hunt and Pete Newman. So that will be your full grid reverse here once more. Gary Walsh, according to my wife, they're all games and we're all children. Good evening, all. Hope you're well.
Well, to be fair, we do get the odd tantrum, don't we? So, yeah.
Do we? Yes, we definitely do. And although you may think we don't, I have been on the receiving end of quite a few driver tantrums. So there we go. Once more, we're going to get these cars up and running. We're just waiting for Darrell Wright to appear. And I don't know if Sir Alan Toon is joining us. Any news from Tooney at all?
No, I've not got anything from him.
Okay, well, there we go.
I'll drop him a message.
The lights are going to be coming on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are green, green, green. With PVG on the left-hand side, Ralph Cullinan on the right. The green-white machine there as well. Ralph trying to follow PVG. I don't think he was quite expecting that move from PVG going into turn 1 with Steve Hefford, Sampson and Siddons right behind as well with Mick Barry in there. Come on, Mick. Let's have another Mick Barry moment, Craig. You'll love that, won't you?
I wouldn't want another Mick Barry moment, and I hate to say it, James, but again, I cannot see any pictures. It's gone again.
Not sure what is going on with Craig Jones in the background here as well. When you give a modern man very modern technology, you end up with some very dodgy results. So that would be what I'm going to blame as the issue, as I will get another link up for Craig as we're on our way through the bus stop for the first time again here this evening as well. And at the moment, it's Hefford, Van Gaal and Owens all out in front there with Sampson, Ayres, Siddons and Barry making his way through the field. So Mick Barry there doing an absolutely stellar job. Up into 7th currently at the moment here, Craig. Mick Barry all the way, that's what I say.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happening. I'm not sure it is going to happen, but you know.
Why do you think it won't?
Do I really want to answer that question?
Yes.
Physics. It's going to come down to physics.
Physics.
I'm not saying any more than that yet.
If we only knew what physics meant with Steve Everett, Miles Owens, PVG and Sampson, your top 4. Ayres in the background, then Mick Barry's in the back, just dropping off a little bit by Tom Griffiths. Ralph Cullinan's into the pits, and that is because he has had one of these moments as Ralph Cullinan. That is going into the bus stop for the first time here as well. And I've got a funny feeling there's going to be contact, and Ralph's going to get it all a bit wrong, and he got it very wrong. For Ralph Cullinan there, unfortunately goes off the side of the circuit. Great battles here. Colin Sampson not giving Jamie Ayres any space there, Craig, and gave him a little bit of a bump when he needed to.
Yeah, it did look like it. I'm just now questioning if I've got the right pictures back again, so bear with me. Don't stop the stream though, because it seems to fix the problem weirdly.
Okay, well, we'll leave that up and running. We've got Miles Owens, Pete Van Gaal, Steve Hefford, all coming round the final corner. Are you seeing that?
An on-board shot?
Yeah, go with that one.
Yeah, it's an on-board shot, just gone across the line, so yes, I think I am back with the right pictures.
Right, okay, well, there you go, as we think Craig Jones is back here once more. We're going into 11 minutes remaining. Steve Hefford up in 3rd, PVG and Miles Owens. Then we got Hefford, no we haven't, we've got Newman, and then behind that is Colin Sampson with Ayres behind that one as well, as they go running down the back straight once more here. It's going to be near enough, 3 wide, Miles Owens, Ayres and Hefford. Surely they can't do this. Coming into the bus stop, Ayres tries to slot in past the wall. They've got to get as close as possible, carrying as much speed as possible. Coming out the other side, Dan Hunt's at the back, Griffiths and Mick Barry. Mick Barry and Fiona Siddons. They've both gone off, the teammates.
See, physics. Told you.
You really blame physics on that one, or can we say Mick Barry got it all wrong and he went into Fiona Siddons?
yeah, so physics dictate that the two cars can't be in the same place at the same time.
Well, there we go. As we get a brief little historic physics lesson there, as Pete Newman now up into third, just about. Too wide once again. Miles Owens on the left, and then we've got Newman coming in there as well in the blue and white machine with Pure Sims on the side, mind you, as we've got a white, blue and yellow machine of Miles Owens with SimRace Sweden on the side as well. Not very massive gaps between the top 8 here at the moment. It's 2.4 seconds with Griffiths, but it is Steve Hefford trying to bolt away here, Craig. How long do we think he's going to stay away for, though?
I'm going to give it another lap, but it also depends on how much these guys are going to fight behind, of course. We don't want them fighting too much because we want them to get after Steve Hefford, but at the same time we want to see some battling going on and some fights. But I mean, he's at that time up quite quickly already, so he's right on his tail. Yeah,
Newman is now as well, 2.4 seconds to the top 8 here. So let's see how these ones get in. Gary, I hope you're doing well, by the way, sir. Reach out and we can have a little bit of a chin wag. I hope you are doing okay and you've come out the other side there, brother. That Newman and Hefford are side by side round the penultimate corner, coming into what would be the final corner here of this circuit. 9 minutes 23 on the clock. Newman, Hefford, Owens, Van Gaal, Ayres, Hunt, Sampson and Griffiths. Could be any one of the top 8 your winners here, Craig, with 1.7 seconds between them.
Yeah, this is the sort of pictures we want to see. Oh no, there's just a little bit of movement there on the grass, and that's just put him into the side. That's not great. Really unfortunate there. Just ran out of room on the inside there.
Run out of room, or
oh no,
he got contact with Owens, and then he kind of velcroed into Jamie Ayres, didn't he? So unfortunately for PVG, he's in the pits there as well with a very battered looking car. These guys up front, Newman and Hefford and Owens, have got a 1.6 second gap to Hunt, Sampson, Ayres and Griffiths as they're 2v2 going into the bus stop. Who's going to be able to come through the other side? Ayres bullies Sampson out there, and Sampson's on the grass. Is he going to be able to get it stopped? Griffiths took a wide exit there as well. It was almost like Jamie Ayres playing ping pong then, Craig, all the way through.
Yes, yeah, you don't want to be playing ping pong with cars though. You want to be doing that properly. So yeah, unfortunate, and doing moves like that, particularly in that part of the track, it's, you're always going to be running that risk, and it's that risk versus reward that I talk about all the time. And sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, it's you roll the dice and see what you come up with.
Oh, there's a bit of a 50-50. Throw there, hoping which side you're going to get and whether or not you're going to come out cleanly. Hefford's allowed Owens to go through. Griffiths is still in the back with Sampson. So Colin Sansom there doing the business in the back for the arms. He's got Ayres and Hunt, but we have got Hefford. He's the one making the trying to make the moves at the moment with Miles Owens in front of him. There is Steve Hefford tucked in right behind him here. He's going to get he's going to get a run, but how quick is he going to get that run? Oh, Miles Owens opened up the inside. Steve Hefford said, thank you very much. Newman's in the middle of the track. He's almost giving draft to both of them as they go in through the bus stop. Hefford does get through. Newman holds on to it, bounces the curb. There, Hefford bounces his curbs as well. So still some great action materialising from these front three. Not done, Craig. 6.5 minutes. Does it make you want to sit there and think, God, I should have been out on the racetrack?
It really does. I do generally love this track. I've had a lot of success at this track as well. I even won a race in that horrible car that we done for a season just for a bit of fun. So I do have fond memories of this track. But man, are they really riding those curbs? And that's hitting the wall, which also isn't advisable.
Yeah, Pete Newman into the wall there with Jamie Ayres. With Steve Hefford and Owens behind him. Dan Hunt 1.6 seconds up the road. Ayres behind that. Griffiths cleared Sampson. Then we've got Barry, Siddons, Cullinan. PVG is out. We've lost Darrell Wright and Alan Toon. Where did Darrell Wright go? That's going to be the question, as I can't actually see anything that's actually happened to Darrell. Maybe Mrs. Wright might have happened to Darrell.
Could well be. we all know what can happen when a missus gets involved.
Yes. Stuff disconnects and it all goes wrong. But Everett and Owens and Newman are on your front three. Hunt's closing in, mind you, with Ayres. And Griffiths is trying to get in contact with these guys once again. 5:33 on the clock now as they're going round turn 5. Still some action, still some fighting, still some places to be decided as they're nose to tail now as well. It's like pack racing in NASCAR. Hefford, Owens, Newman, Ayres, then Griffiths, Hunt in there as well. We're going to have this battle all back together, I think, as they're going over the line with going to be 5 minutes remaining. They're going to get exactly about 3.5, maybe 4 laps in here, Craig. If this is the action now, what's it going to be like over race 2 and 3?
Yeah, it always starts to kick off a little bit more in the final 2 races. Drivers that particularly haven't had, and that's a sideways bar, and hope just managed to avoid the barrier.
We did that.
Good save in the end there. And that's why 3 wide through the S's is not a good idea.
No, and poor old Dan Hunt didn't have anywhere to go. You can see in front here, Newman's in the middle. He gets contact, then Newman goes into Owens. Hunt is, well, he's just there, isn't he? Unfortunately for Miles Owens and Dan Hunt, there is literally nothing left. Griffiths is going to clear Owens as well. I don't really know how Owens' steering is situated and whether or not it's going to be situated straight, to be blatantly honest. But he's still in front of Tom Griffiths. To be fair, Craig, his steering looks pretty straight.
It is odd. It's just sometimes you get away with it and sometimes you don't. There seems to be no kind of rules behind it. I mean, he might have maybe some aero damage or something like that, but yeah, it looks pretty straight, doesn't it? So maybe he's got lucky there.
I think Miles Owens may have come out the other side on this one with 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes to go here in race 2. Don't forget, we will change sessions to get into race 3 and race 4. Newman in that second place with Hefford there as well, and Jamie Ayres. Ayres trying to go up the inside of Pete Newman now as well. Is he going to be able to make it through? He's not here currently, as Ayres is on the outside. Can Newman hold on? He needs Hefford to pull over, give the draft to Jamie Ayres. That's exactly what he's done. Teamwork from the Momo boys there. Pete Newman outgunned going along the straight.
Yes, and that's what we always see from the Momo guys. They are, there's no way to put it, a nightmare. Because when they get together, they can just do things and manipulate the situation to their advantage every single time. I don't know how they do it. They've been driving together for years. They just can read each other's minds. But Pete Newman is coming back at them. He's not going to let them get away with it that easily.
Yeah, don't think he has here. And Newman's going to try and come back and put himself between this Momo, a double of machines in front of him. So let's see how it goes here. Is Newman going to give it up? Ayres is going to go for the run over Hefford. Newman's pushing. Oh! He's pushing again there. Pushing again there, Craig. That could have gone all a little bit wrong.
It certainly can. We've spoke about that risk before, haven't we? With doing that, you've got to be so certain that you're straight on and you've got balance in that car, and you're not going too far to the left. Side by side, as we're coming up through the S's, it's a scary place to be going up at full speed when you haven't got a car on your side. So yeah, really brave driving here. Is Pete Newman going to chuck it into the middle, or is he just going to push Steve Hefford along to try and get a better open up the corner maybe for himself to try and make a move as he comes out of it? Riding those curves really hard. Oh, trying to go up the inside on that curb. That's really brave. A little bit of touch in there, I fear. So yeah, it's not going to happen this time around.
We will be on the final lap. Pete Van Gaal just come in, put an emoji with his hands in the air, and went. That's literally it for PVG. Of course, not a lot he's going to be able to do on that one. Round now the penultimate corner before we go on to the final lap of the race. They are going to make it, but Barney is going to be waving this time. It will be the final the lap here with Pete Newman battling it away with Jamie Ayres, with Steve Hefford, and then you've got Griffiths 2 seconds behind with Owens behind that one. So still some action to come, I'm sure, on this final lap here, Craig. And it's anybody's out of these top two, isn't it?
Absolutely, and if you're going to make a move, then this is obviously the lap that you're going to have to do it. So let's see how this one pans out as they're going up the famous S's yet again, side by side.
And that's what Steve Hefford is seeing, the man behind him. Now they're going to be going 3 wide. Hefford's going to try and open up a gap. Oh,
that's brave driving.
Read me. Steve Hefford making it through in front of Newman. Newman's alongside Ayres. Ayres gives him room. Newman's not going to be able to recover. Has Steve Hefford just pulled off a master stroke here, Craig, and gone from first to third to first on the final quarter?
That is an absolutely fantastic move, and I've got to say, you know, round of applause to all the drivers there for keeping that clean. That is a really difficult move to make, and he made it stick, and all the drivers give all the space that he needed to do that. So yeah, really respectful. That's what we want to see.
I'm surprised they did give him room though. It comes around. We'll talk about that one very briefly in a moment, but it is going to be Steve Hefford, Jamie Ayres and Pete Newman over the line. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3. What about Griffiths? He is just lost out to Miles Owens, 0.79 back, and then we've got the guys further back, of course, Fairness Siddons really at the beginning of the lap here for race 2 as well. If that was me, I would have closed the door in the middle.
I think it's one of those moves. It's so risky, isn't it, to even have done it in the first place. Now I can see that they're all together in the same Discord, so there might be some conversation going on around kind of like how you know, I'm there and, you know, give me room or whatever. But it's a risky move to make. It really is. So, you know, do they really want to defend it too heavily and risk not finishing the race, I guess?
Well, it's kind of expecting to get the space, isn't he? And I think that's the thing. I wouldn't personally have given it to him. I think I'd have made him work for it. But that's just me. That's probably why I don't finish a lot of the races, to be honest, as well. So, you know, times are tough. But let's see if Fiona Simmons comes over the line. We will bring you up the results of race 2. Don't forget, we are moving over into the session in race 3 after this one, where we will pop onto a BRB screen there as well. Siddons comes over the line, and let's bring you up the results. It is Steve Hefford from Momo in first place, with Jamie Ayres in second and Pete Newman in third. Miles Owens in fourth. Then we got Tom Griffiths, Colin Sampson and Mick Barry there as well. Barry taking second in the AMs. Ralph Cullinan, Fiona Siddons, Dan Hunt, PVG, Darrell Wright, and no Sir Alan Toon there as well. Right, guys, we're going to jump onto a brief BRB screen. We will be back after this short break. Okay, guys, we are back again for race 3 and race 4 here for the UkSimracers MX5 season 1 of 2024, round 11 from Watkins, Glen. I am still James Parfitt, and I'm still joined by Mr. Craig Jones, who we hope has sorted out his technical problems. Good evening again, Mr. Jones.
Hello, James. Yes, hopefully we've found the bug in the system that was meaning I couldn't see the same pictures that James was seeing. So, yeah, hopefully the commentary might make a little bit more sense, because I picked up on that what James was talking, I certainly wasn't talking about. So, yes, apologies for that. It sometimes goes wrong, doesn't it? It went a bit wrong for you last week, James, and it seems like it's my turn this week.
TV, mate. Live TV, into anything internet-based, Mr. Jones. Anything internet-based can go wrong, will go wrong, and generally does go wrong. That's the problem. It's like the drivers having internet issues. When you stick them on the track from all over the globe, you're expected to get that issue. We've got no Sir Alan Toon returning. We've got no Darryl Wright. And at the moment, who else are we missing? I think there's got to be somebody else by the looks of it as well. So maybe we've lost a couple here once again. I don't know if it's PVG returned. No, PVG is the other one. PVG, Alan Toon and Darryl Wright have not returned for the next race, which is a bit of a shame there as well. So unfortunately, it looks like we've lost a couple of drivers, but I'm sure we will be all good anyway as we're going into the final 12 minutes of practice. I'm sure they will advance the session, guys. They generally do it with 10 minutes to go, Mr. Jones.
Yes, get your words out, James.
They generally do. They generally do it with 12 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. There you go.
Yes, they do. But I suppose if there's a couple of drivers as well that have got a few technical issues, I know they do tend to let it run past that. So, yeah, it might be genuine.
If the broadcaster just has all issues like I did last week.
Yes, it can be an advantage just to keep things going for that little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, your problem was like really severe. We just had a synchronized camera issue, so not quite as bad as what you experienced last week.
Yeah, I literally had everything. It just all died, stopped, froze, and God knows what else went on there as well. It looks like the NASCAR Super Series has kicked off for round 4 at Pocono. So they're already up and running. It looks like they've got about 25 drivers at Pocono, so that should be an interesting one. If you like your NASCAR and you want to have a quick look and see what's going on over on that one, of course you want to come back and love the fact that you're with myself and Mr. Jones, of course, here. So make sure you stay tuned, of course, on the UkSimracers MX5 racing, why the NASCAR guys take to Pocono. So there we go. 30 seconds, I think, Craig, here before we get this up and running, before we get it underway. What do we think race 3 and 4 is going to bring for us?
I think it's going to bring a bit more drama, to be honest. So we had a little bit in that last race, didn't we, with a few cars coming together, which wasn't ideal. Doesn't look
I do love it how you say which wasn't ideal.
It's never ideal, is it?
I was going to say, there you go. It's never ideal.
I don't know. It depends who you're racing against, doesn't it? I'm going to get my iRacing subscription removed from me if I carry on talking like that, aren't I? So yeah, it's never ideal to have contact between the cars, but this track does tend to bring it sometimes. It's like I said, going 3 wide, particularly 2 wide into that chicane. You're asking for trouble, and I've seen some really brave driving tonight. I must admit, if I was in these cars, I don't think I'd be trying to go 2 wide at all through that chicane. And in some cases, we've even seen an attempt at 3 wide. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit more contact to come. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see how this goes. As Steve Pfeffer there doing some lovely Tokyo drifting. We'll bring you up the grid for race 3. Looks like they have advanced the session. We got a shorter grid than we did have in race 1 and 2. Jamie Ayres, Mick Barry, Fiona Siddons, Colin Sampson, your top 4. Griffiths, Hefford, Owens, Newman, Cullinan and Hunt. We've lost Toon, Vangal and Darrell Wright during the session change there. So Jamie Ayres is going to be your pole position man for race 3. So let's see what happens again here as well. So hopefully we'll have a good race, and this 15 minutes will be up and running. We're just waiting for Mick Barry to get on track. So let's see what goes on here as well. So lights are going to come on, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Race 3 is alive, and it is green, green, green here this evening as we're going down into turn 1. Jamie Ayres, Mick Barry, Fiona Siddons, Colin Sampson, Steve Hefford, Miles Owens. We're going to have 10 cars on the circuit. Are they going to manage to keep it? Are we going to see a Mick Barry win, Craig Jones?
No. No, he's my mate. You know, of course I want him to win. But you know, I think Jamie Ayres is in a real good position here. So he's got a few cars in between him and any kind of rival of the same pace. So if he gets a good start here and these start battling and causing a little bit of chaos, he might be in a good position for the win here. But yeah, of course, I'd love to see my mate Mick Barry do it.
Yeah, I feel it could be another Mick Barry moment going on there as well. So let's see what happens with Steve Hefford there as well. Looks like Hefford's in the barrier. Steve Hefford's in the wall here as well as they go through the bus stop. There was contact with Colin Sampson to start off. Then he hit the curb. Then he got nudged by Newman. Then he overcooked it. Then Sampson just sent him on his way. And unfortunately for Steve Hefford, he's in the wall. Tom Griffiths sitting in third at the moment. Mick Barry in second, with Siddons not far behind them at all. So go Mick Barry.
Yeah, he's a good, strong position here. So a few weeks out, gone a little bit wide there. So it looks like he had to make a little bit of an adjustment coming out of that corner. That's going to cost him dearly, unfortunately. So yeah, he's lost a position there. Not ideal. Bit of a commentator's curse, that one, I fear.
Yeah, I feel there as well. But Mick Barry losing that place. He's now alongside Siddons as they're going up through the S's here for 13 minutes on the clock. Griffiths is going to try and set after Ayres. Ayres has got 1.5 with Miles Owens there as well. So a lot of action still to come. Can Mick Barry take it? Can he get up the front, and will he win his race here? So let's see what goes on with Mick Barry. Jamie Ayres is alongside Miles Owens. Owens settles in behind him. Mick's running. It looks like Mick's got the bit between his teeth tonight.
Yeah, I think the few weeks off that he's had is really, he's come back refreshed. He's come back a new person. So yeah, he's looking good out there, isn't he? He's putting up a bit of a fight. That's what we like to see. We don't like to see any hams or anything like that. Just letting the pros through. No, he's doing all right out here.
There he is at the moment. Go Mick Barry as he's alongside Miles Owens. Owens going to come back on. Oh, he got a bit squirrely there. Dan Hunt's in the background with Fiona Siddons. Siddons has just gone through. Newman's trying to make it through as well around the final corner on that run down into turn 1. So let's see what goes on with Newman and Siddons. I don't think it's going to be very long, no, Craig, until Newman is up a position.
Yeah, any opportunity Newman gets, he's going to take that position. And you know, quite often when I meet him on track, I just let him go and just follow behind him and try and just get some, just learn something new if possible. And that's the way that it's got to be sometimes. It's more of an advantage to follow the faster guys and try and pick up some speed, particularly at a track like this, where you can see from the pictures we've got now where that draft is really starting to play into Mick Barry's favour there. Thought about the inside move, dive back in. I think that was a sensible decision to make on that one. Yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit closer for the next lap.
Let's see how Mick Barry gets on here, whether or not he's going to be able to get through. With Tom Griffiths had a big old blink there. That's never a good idea, with Dan Hunt coming up behind him. So can Mick Barry hold on with a hashtag Keep Fighting Craig on the back there as well? However, we need to change that really, as Craig is up and alive and kicking here, as you can hear in the booth once more. So Dan Hunt going on the outside, Mick Barry's on the inside, Newman's nestled in behind him. That's what Newman's looking at here, Craig, as well. And still some great epic action with these guys on track.
Yeah, take a bow, Mick Barry. That was he's definitely committed, isn't he, James?
Yeah, he's definitely going for it, and I think that's great.
Absolutely.
I think he's had so many bad races. We've seen Mick get caught up in stuff. We've seen him make oh my dearie me. We've seen him make silly mistakes as well. So, you know, let's just say maybe those couple of weeks break has done him good, and he's come back refreshed, and he's ready to rip and roar as he's leading the AMs here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, he's obviously a personal friend of mine, but and a teammate, and you know, there's always teammate banter going on, particularly in the result room all the time. And you know, we say, you know, Nick's a danger to be on track with sometimes, but I've had some of the best racing I've ever experienced has been with that man. So yeah, it's really good to see that he's out there and he's going 100% at it tonight.
Yeah, go Mick Barry. He's got the Irishman and Ralph Cullinan alongside him here as well. So Ralph battling away, but Owens is trying to get sort of further ahead into Miles Owens with Jamie Ayres there. You can see Jamie Ayres just going up the front. Then we've got Tom Griffiths and Dan Hunt. Griffiths is trying to push along. They've got the gap down to Jamie Ayres, down below 1 second at the moment. So a great job from all of these guys to pull that little bit of time in. I think any time that you can pull in on the driver in front should be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we didn't get that kind of the AMs disrupting those first opening laps as much as I would have liked to have seen if I was Jamie Ayres, just put it that way. So, yeah, he's now got this pack chasing him down, and I think it's just only going to be, by the time we get to the chicane, they're going to be right on his tail. Oh! I caught the end of that one. I'm not sure who's
Griffiths' bumper is going further than him there. So let's have a look here. There's Tom Griffiths with Dan Hunt. Hunt is trying to make a gap there, as you see Griffiths' bumper go flying off there. His bumper went further than he did there as well. I think Hunt tried to make a gap, but I also feel that Griffiths may have closed the door on him just a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose if you're trying to make that gap, the guy in front has the right to defend it. I'll probably have to have another look at it back a little bit after this one, to be fair. Yeah, unfortunate. Probably one of those ones that really did you need to try and make the move there, and you know, was the outside line better? Thought that you had it for the sort of the inside of the next chicane. I don't know. So yeah, a bit of a bizarre one, but unfortunate to see.
Yeah, Newman Barry now alongside Dan Hunt as well. So Barry does lose that position to Hunt. It looks like he might lose the position to Ralph Cullinan. The Irishman now looks up the inside of Hunt. It's going to be Barry's going to get the run as well. Oh, come on, Ralph, go out a little bit. Give Barry the draft. He does do there as well. Now Barry sliding in front of the Hunt. Sanson trying to push his way through as well. Sanson looks up the inside. He's got a run and a half over Hunt. Sanson looks like he's going to make it through. Colin Sanson, Hunt goes sideways. He goes sideways. He goes round and round and round, does Dan Hunt. And unfortunately, he's back into the pits. So Jamie Ayres, Pete Newman, Miles Owens, and then you got Ralph Cullinan, Colin Sanson, Fiona Siddons, and Mick Barry down there as well.
You can certainly tell it's race 3 now, can't you? It's really starting to heat up now that these moves are starting to happen. Yeah, unfortunate on that one. I mean, it was quite a good save to try and keep it out of the barrier, I thought, to be fair. So I'm surprised he's parked that one up and decided not to take part for the rest of the race. But yeah, it's a great race so far. Side by side coming down into turn 1 now. Newman's got that all day long. And up through the S's, and let's have another go and see what happens this lap.
These guys are moving up through, of course, here as well. So let's see if Ayres and Newman can now get on. Can Griffiths, who is lapped, mind you, just hang on to these guys for a little bit of fun here. Mick Barry battling away with Fiona Siddons. Not quite sure how he ended that far down, to be fair. So whether or not he got a bit of a slowdown for Mick Barry as he's battling away with Siddons into the bus stop here, pushing her along. Fiona in the front, Mick behind, both of them in their pink machines here. We can have a look and see how Fiona Siddons got past Mick. I'm wondering whether or not that's going to be Mick recovering just there. There he is, as he recovers after the Dan Hunt incident. That's how he lost them positions. But he's side by side with Fiona Siddons at the moment.
Yeah, it's a fantastic little fight, this one. I'm enjoying watching this one unfold. Good, clean, respectful racing generally from these two. As you can expect, Mick going a little bit wide on that corner. Seen quite a few cars doing that tonight. This particular corner, you've got to be really careful where you put the power down. Get as close to the wall as you possibly can, which Mick did quite well there. Didn't do a Pete Newman like we saw before. So yeah, it's good race.
Yeah, it definitely is. Owens, Newman and Ayres. They're your front three currently. There is Jamie Ayres as we go on board with him now. He's just running out to the left-hand side of Pete Newman there. Miles Owens in front. Which way is it going to go for Miles Owens? Is he going to give it to Newman? Is he going to give it to Ayres? He's giving it to Ayres. Griffith is giving it to Ayres as well. Newman comes in like a hot potato. He manages to hold it on the exit. Is he going to make it all the way through here? He's not Pete Newman, but Jamie Ayres did an absolutely splendid job there.
Yeah, that was a fantastic bit of racing to watch. Really committed, really, really good. I honestly sit here sometimes, James, and I'll look at these guys and I really don't know how they do it. I really don't.
No, to be honest, I probably would have been in the wall or a barrier by now racing this closely with people. I think it's always tough though, isn't it, when you look at it, because our skill level doesn't always match. Well, it never matches these guys, but what I'm saying is sometimes our brain seems to think we can do things our head really can't and our pedals can't, you know, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? You want to make sure that you can do what your brain thinks it should do and maybe have your feet doing the same thing, and that doesn't always work, does it?
No, and it's interesting because when I've raced before and watched, obviously I'm the driver inside the car, I know what happened and how the car was behaving and it was doing what it was doing. When I watch it back on the stream, there's been moments where I've done a move or you've captured something, let's say, and in my head it looked really messy and it looked like the car was losing control and I was constantly fighting the car. When you look back on the stream, the car looks so smooth, calm, collected. It just doesn't look like what you're feeling like as a driver on the inside, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that in a kind of sensible manner there. But it's really interesting how the stream portrays some of this driving. And I can tell you now, the guys in this car are working really, really hard to fight these cars and keep these cars going in the right direction.
Yeah, they are there as well. Colin Sanson leading the AMs again. He's got Ralph Cullinan in front of him as Sanson, so good luck with him. Siddons and Barry, as they come round the corner, they're still together round the final corner as well. Newman is now pushing Miles Owens. They're going to have one more here, a lap of race 3 before they go into the final lap of the race here. Greg, are we going to see dramas? Are we going to see melodramas? What do we think is going to happen here for the final 2 laps?
I think with these drivers, I think we're going to just see this clean, respectful racing. I don't think we're going to see any drama. I hope I'm wrong, because, we all like to see a little bit of drama, let's face it. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But they are going to go 3 wide. Now, that is an interesting decision to make. Not one that I would be going for. A little bit of contact, a little bit of door rubbing, but there's nothing wrong with that. We're racing at the end of the day. These moves that they're making on that chicane are just absolutely fantastic to watch. Yeah,
they definitely are, running 2 wide, getting as close to the barrier as they dare on the entrance. They're getting amazingly close to each other as well. Oh, Owens throws a big old block there. Ayres is trying to go up the inside. Owens literally threw a block at him as if to say no, no. But Ayres says yes, yes. Owens says no, no. Ayres says yes, yes. And now they're at it side by side, Craig, going down into turn one.
Yeah, and pick a car. Which car do you want the draft off on this occasion? So yeah, pick a car and stick with it. You want to keep as tight as you can to the car in front for these S's as you're going up. Fantastic bit of racing. It really is good to see from these boys.
Yeah, some great action from all of these guys as well as they're coming round on to the final lap of the race. This time around, it is final lap time. It's all or nothing time. Let's see what goes on here and whether or not they're going to be able to hold it. Looks like Newman might hold it in front at the moment. But it's going to be Ayres and Owens. Griffiths is backing up. Owens is on the grass. That's going to be a slowdown all day, baby. All day is Miles Owens going to have that slowdown there. Siddons and Barry are side by side as well. Let's just keep an eye on these guys, what they did going through the bus stop. Barry takes the position away. They're very close to the barrier. Pete Newman is going to run away with it this time, though, Craig. It looks like race 3 was as simple as you like here.
Yeah, that's certainly what it's going to want every race to be like, and it's very uncommon in this particular series. So yeah, fantastic race from him. Done really good job, and we'll see who comes across the line in second and third.
Miles Owens in second, and then Jamie Ayres there. So a great job from all of these guys as well. That happens, and then we've got Fiona Siddons and Mick Barry. Looks like Mick's going to take second place in the AM. Sanson's going to get the victory, of course. Barry and then Siddons here for race 3. So great job from all of these guys on the circuit, and we will bring you up the results very shortly as Newman, Owens and Ayres there as well. So that is your top 3. So yeah, very epic third race there. And then we will be going on to the 4th race as well. That's going on.
Synchronized spinning, that is. And crashing. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Impressive.
Right. Let's bring you up the result. Pete Newman out in front. And you got Miles Owens, Jamie Ayres, Ralph Cullinan, your top 4. Colin Sanson wins the AMs with Mick Barry and Siddons behind with Hefford, Griffiths and Hunt. A brief little warm-up once more here, Craig. More action, I'm sure, coming. More action will happen. And it's going to be, I think, somewhat of an epic race 4.
It is. It's the one that I always look forward to from a spectator's point of view and from a driver, to be honest with you, because, you know, when I was racing in this league, you don't tend to be up the front for the first one. Well, I didn't anyway, just because I wasn't quick enough for qualifying. And then you're trying to sort of make your way through the field for race 2 and 3, and hopefully getting into a decent position to start up front for the final one. Generally speaking, they do bring a bit more trouble, and like I said before, as the night goes on, drivers perhaps haven't got the result that they wanted to see, so they start pushing, they start making more daring moves, let's say, into some of these corners, and I would imagine in particular into the chicane at this track. So yeah, race 4 is one I always look forward to. It's good to watch, it's good to race in, and it's, generally speaking, was always the best race that I tend to have each night as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of race 4.
Yeah, it's normally calamitous, I think, can be happening as well. I think sometimes race 4 can deliver great racing, but it also can get a little bit hectic. Now, obviously, from our point of view, we've seen multiple cars here as well on the circuit that have had that problem, you know, calamitous racing and stuff like that. And it's all been a little bit up and down, and it's been a little bit crazy. But I think this could be an interesting race 4. I'm looking to see how these guys get on.
Yeah, it's a shame there's only 10 cars on track. I mean, I remember, and this is going back years ago, when we were part of another league, which I won't mention the name, but the drivers will know which one I'm on about. And we had probably 40 to 50 cars on the grid. And there was this one chap that used to look back at the video at the end of it and basically do like a review of the incidents that had happened and sort of kind of just do a bit of a commentary in a way, but not kind of as professional as what you do in JPB, obviously. And he done this particular video at this track, and it was just hilarious because every single race ended up going up that hill through the S's, involved a car hitting a barrier, bouncing back onto the middle of the track, and just completely wiping out the field. And I mean wiping out the entire field. There wasn't a single car that didn't come out with a bonnet missing or a bumper gone flying or anything like that. It was absolute carnage. And that's what can happen at this track, in particular that particular area. So yeah, 10 cars on track is a bit disappointing. If we had a few more cars on track, I'm sure we would have seen a lot more carnage and a lot more stuff happening going up through those S's. But yeah, it's not to be tonight. 10 cars on track. It's not all about the crashing. Obviously, we do like to see good racing, and that's what gets everyone excited, and that's what all the boys and girls want to see at home. But yeah, secretly, I think we all do enjoy the odd bit of carnage and a bit of drama.
Yeah, we definitely do. I think we need to educate Adrian. Very dodgy driving over there. The guy in the light blue car kept drafting but not making any moves for quite some time. He was a lapped car, Adrian. He didn't want to get himself involved there, dear sir, and that's why he was not making the moves, because the lapped car and he didn't want to get himself involved in the action. So there you go. That's why there as well. But thank you so much. All questions are, any questions are good questions, and let's face it, we all don't know everything coming in straight away. So if you do want to find out anything, just ask away, and I'm sure myself or Mr. Jones will be able to answer them for you. So yeah, should be a good one. But thank you so much again for joining us, and as always, like, subscribe, and turn on the bells, Mr. Jones.
Yes, I have. I haven't liked, actually, to be fair, so I'm going to go and do that now. But I haven't liked this one, but I have liked the NASCAR stream. How about that?
Nice.
That's a bit backwards, isn't it?
It definitely is. Don't forget, in about a minute or so time, we have got Project Racing's Esports League going off for round 1 at Imola on F1 23. So lots of action there for you to get and watch and enjoy if you so wish. Right. Round 4's grid is up and running for the final race of this evening. Dan Hunt on pole, Tom Griffiths, Steve Hefford, 1, 2, 3. Then Siddons, Barry and Sanson with Ralph Cullen and Jamie Ayres, Miles Owens and Pete Newman at the back. So let's see how all of these guys get on as Dan Hunt takes that top spot there, Craig. And let's see if he can make it from the green flag to the checkered all in one go. I doubt very much he's going to be able to. We are waiting for Mick Barry to get onto the track. 14 minutes here. We're going to have a 15-minute race once they get going, of course. That will set to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is up and running, and we are green, with Dan Hunt out in front, Tom Griffiths and Steve Hefford there as well. Siddon's got a wicked start over Steve Hefford as she's going down into turn 1 there. Now you can see Colin Sanson's going up alongside Mick Barry, Jamie Ayres and Ralph Cullinan with Pete Newman. Colin Sanson's taking a spin. Mick Barry's gone round in sympathy. They're both doing more pirouettes than a ballerina, unfortunately, in Swan Lake, but it is Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths and Steve Hefford out in front.
Yeah, really gutted for those two drivers there. That's start of this race. That's definitely not ideal. So yeah, unfortunate to see that one. But we've got some great action going on here at the front. 3 wide coming up to the chicane, going down to 2 wide. Hopefully, let's keep it all nice and sensible, boys. Let's not do anything that's going to be too. No, everyone makes it through, riding those curbs massively. So yeah, I think there's definitely been some changes to this car since I last drove it, because I would never have hit the curbs as hard as these guys have been through tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think the car's become a little bit more curb munching ability, with Tom Griffiths nestled in second place there. 3 wide further back with Siddons, Cullinan and Ayres. How's that one going to work out? Well, at the moment, it's worked out quite well. Now, Ayres did lose out. Now we've got Cullinan and Griffiths in there. We've got Siddons in there. We've got also Miles Owens in there as they're battling away. Pete Newman, 2 wide, 3 deep coming into turn 1 now as well. Mick Barry has unfortunately jumped back to the pits. It doesn't look like race 3 is going to be his race. Dan Hunt's gone round. Oh, I think that may have been at the hands of Steve Hefford there, because Hefford pulled up, and I believe he's probably going to let him back through.
Yeah, just a bit of a misunderstanding under braking there, I fear, unfortunately. But yeah, as always, Steve Hefford, really respectful, decided to give the place back. A small sorry, I guess. It does ruin your race, but yeah, it's good to see some sportsmanship.
Yeah, it definitely does there with Newman, Griffiths, Cullinan and Owens. The only good thing, though, is it also gives them somebody to race further back there as well, Craig. Doesn't it really, when they let each other go back through, it does give them somebody to race at the back end.
Absolutely, yes, and generally there's always someone to race, and that's what I love about leagues like this. But Mr. Cullinan, he's really going for it in this race, isn't he? 4 wide almost there as we're coming to the end, towards the end of this lap. 3 wide round this corner. I don't know if they're going to manage to sort themselves out. They certainly seem to, coming around for the final turn. You can make moves on this particular corner, but it's all about getting a good run, getting a good exit out of that corner, so you've got a good run on turn 1 to try and make a move up this long straight that we're just about to head on to. 2 wide going into turn 1. Ralph Collins got the inside line, nicely done, given room on the outside as well. And now, yeah, this is where Owens needs to be putting his foot down, get on the rear, and trying to keep on Ralph Collins' tail.
Jamie Ayres in the background there, you can see them all charging over. Miles Owens in front. Ralph Cullinan's going to be under attack as well. The Irishman fueled with whiskey. It's not blood, it's whiskey here in the Irishman's desk, I'm sure, as he's once more getting weaved all over the back of. What's Ralph Cullinan going to do? Jamie Ayres, Miles Owens, they make a little bit of contact. Owens is going to come back in. I'm very expecting Ayres to get contact. There it was. You saw the brief little stutter, and Miles Owens is into the wall. Oh, we saw it all day, baby. There was the initial contact just about there. Then they come out. There's more. And unfortunately, it was Miles Owens doing the wonderful world of the pirouettes as he leaves some paint of that SimRacers Sweden car on the barrier. That's going to put him towards the back end. Now it's all about Cullinan and Griffiths. What's going to happen once more here as these guys battle it out with 10 minutes to go?
I mean, just count the casualties that we've had from barriers and incidents and various bits in this race one. It's only lap 3, so you can definitely tell it's race 4. But yeah, Ralph Cullen's in a fantastic position here. It's a shame, really, that Barry went out so early on in the race, because, you know, we were joking about him winning a race, and I feel race 4 could have been his opportunity. But unfortunately, that first lap incident was not to be. But yeah, Ralph Cullinan. Fantastic race here. He seems to have the luck of the Irish on his side at the moment.
He does here as well. Jamie Ayres behind him. Tom Griffiths, Cullinan alongside. He's got no one to draft with, as Cullinan knows. So does he back off and go in behind these two? It looks like that could be his best move. Pete Newman has come. Whoa! I thought Newman was going to send it there from miles back.
So did I. Yeah, so did I. It looked like it all day long, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It definitely did there. I thought Newman was coming through, and he was coming through like an absolute banshee with Jamie Ayres in front. He nearly had the back end of Cullinan there as well. We've got Hunt and Hefford and further back. Siddons in the middle, just driving around like it's a Sunday morning drive for her. Unfortunately, she's in the mix. 3.4 up front. She's got a second behind now to Hefford as he's coming on, but it's still this front 4 battle. Battling away as they go over the line for lap 5 on 9 minutes on the clock. And it is still just nose to tail for the front 4. Newman's going to look up the inside of Cullinan. Cullinan's getting the draft from Ayres. He's going to be later on the brakes. Now Newman's even later. He's gone through on Ralph Cullinan, but is Cullinan going to come back up through the S's?
I think Cullinan is definitely going to come back up for the S's. I'm surprised Newman's actually fighting this hard so early on in the race, to be fair. would it be more sensible just to sit back and let these guys go side by side through the chicane and maybe pick up some of the scraps from that? I don't know, but he certainly seems to be wanting to make the moves nice and early in this race.
Oh, Newman sent it free wide. He's getting a push from Cullinan. Griffiths has lost us 3 spaces. He now goes down into 4th. Cullinan still in 3rd. 8 minutes on the clock. Further back, you can see Hunt has cleared Siddons in the background, but these front 4 going around the outer loop now on that run down into the penultimate second to last corner, if you want to call it that. Go in again. 8 minutes, lap 5. Newman, Ayres, Cullinan. This isn't done yet, Craig. I don't know which way this is going to go, but I can guarantee it's not finished yet.
I think the only way you're going to call this is to random number generator 1 to 4, put it in and see what number comes out, because literally any one of these drivers could win this. They're all capable of winning a race. They've all got the speed. They're all in the draft. Anything can happen. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I'm going number 3.
I'm going to call it that Newman's got it. I think the positions will change a few times, but I think Newman's got the... I think he's got it. Yeah, I'm going to go Newman.
Well, there we go. Let us know in YouTube chat who you think is going to win, and whether or not it's going to be Newman, whether or not it's going to be Ayres, whether or not it's going to be Cullinan or Griffiths, as these guys battle it out here over the final few laps. 7 minutes. Lap 6 on the clock. There's still action taking place. There's still fights taking place. And it's going to be continuous as they're going off through the bus stop. Ralph Cullinan takes the lead here. My number 3 takes the lead. 6/10 gap he's got. He needs the guys behind to fight so he can kind of escape a little bit up the road. But let's see what happens here as well. Is he going to hold on to this, though? That's going to be the question.
Well, we'll get to see a car tonight escape, have we, that have been in position 1. So I don't think he's gonna. It's not over. It's definitely not over yet. And I think all these guys have had a turn into the bus stop chicane at being in P1 when they went in there. So yeah, a lot can happen still. We've still got quite a few laps to go in this race. So yeah, it's not over yet.
Not over yet. There's Mr. Jones. Is the Irishman going to hold on? The whiskey-fueled, Guinness-loving Irishman there. He's probably got a nice stout whiskey sitting on his side there as well as he's sipping it going down the long straight, holding on to what these MX5s are going to do. Ayres, Griffiths, Newman all waiting in line. They're ready to pounce. Cullinan's opened up the inside line. Silly boy. Here now it's going to be free wide. Newman gives Cullinan a little bit of a push through. Is Cullinan going to hold on to it going into the bus stop? Is there going to be Irish carnage? It's going to be Ayres that's come through. Griffiths come through. Cullinan's going to try the cutback. Round Tom Griffiths, round the outside they're going to go. Now Newman's going to get involved once more. He tried to push Cullinan through there. He just didn't quite get the push on him at that moment in time.
That was just absolutely beautiful to watch. It really was. And I can't tell you, if anyone that hasn't raced these cars, doing what they're doing is incredibly difficult. And to not make contact is something else. This is an absolutely fantastic performance from these 4 drivers.
It definitely is. Definitely is here as well. And seeing how they get on and seeing what they do. Is it going to be Ayres? They're still at it here. They're still at it. Craig's number 4 is on the back. My number 3 is in the middle. Griffiths and Ayres have decided, well, you're not going for us, so it is going to be either one of us as well as they go up once more. Miles Owens is having a nice little tiny little ding-dong with Colin Sanson at the back, so they've got people to race, which is great, and then everybody else spread out. Ayres and Griffiths. Cullinan's chose his horse. He has chose Griffiths. Is he going to push him through? He's not. Now they're going to settle in line of stand at the moment. Tom Griffiths. Griffiths pulls out. Cullinan's going to have Ayres to push if he can. Can he get up and give him a little bump forward? You can see Owens has cleared Sampson. Griffiths goes in. Ayres goes in. Cullinan goes in. So does Newman. Through the other side of the bus stop they go now as well. And it is, as they are, for the first time over the last few laps.
Yeah, it's just not letting up, is it? You know, I was said before about Pete Newman just staying back there in 4th, and he seemed to be committed to making moves. Don't know if he's now starting to side with my thoughts here, and let these three guys battle it out. Is there going to be contact, and you can pick up some of the scraps? That last lap dive yet to come. I don't know. I don't know what tactics I would choose, James. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on what you'd be doing if you were Pete Newman right now.
I'd be where he is. To be honest, the only time I'd look at moving is being third on the final lap, because he will get that big old double draft on the final lap. So for Newman, I would look at being into third place here. So let's see what goes on with Pete Newman and whether or not he does. He takes up that third spot. Griffiths is in front. Ayres is there as well. Cullinan's letting Newman off. Cullinan's chose Griffiths. Newman's chose Ayres. Now it's a race, 2v2 on the way down into the bus stop chicane. Here comes Ralph Cullinan, here comes Newman. Who's going to push the hardest? Is it going to be Newman? Is it going to be Cullinan? Is it going to be Ayres? Well, I can tell you now it's Ayres. I can tell you now it's Newman. And now Dan Hunt's in the mix in the background. It could be one of any five. Could it be the number 5 car taking the win, Craig? Could it be the number 4? Could it be the number 2? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it as they're going to go over there with 2 laps remaining?
Yeah, I mean, we need to rechange that number generator now, don't we, to one out of 5 cars. So, yeah, fantastic comeback there from Mr. Hunt. He's capitalised on all this fighting that's been going on and swapping and changing from the cars ahead. So, yeah, 2 minutes to go. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it definitely is here as well. And it's going to be Jamie Ayres with 2 on the clock. Here now with Newman, with Cullinan, with Hunt. Is Ralph playing on the air? Is he siding on the air of caution and trying to take the points, which would be a little bit upsetting, considering I thought he would have been giving it more of a go?
Yeah, I suppose it's difficult at this point of the race. Like I said, generally speaking, you would have had, generally speaking, at this point, you want to be on the sort of the car behind going into these laps. But now Dan Hunt's turned up, it really has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, doesn't it? Having that extra car in there, they were quite happy going 2x2, but now they've got to somehow try and make 5 cars go in 2x2, which obviously doesn't go. So, it's going to be an interesting end to this race, I fear.
Yeah, Jamie Ayres is going to hold on. He held on down the final straight away. Looks like he could hold on for the final 2 laps. Jamie Ayres, Pete Newman, Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths. Hunt and Griffiths are side by side. Ayres goes into the second to last corner. Now he's going to come through the final corner. Is he going to be able to hold it from Pete Newman? Is Newman going to be able to get there? I don't think he's going to get the run out. I think it's going to be as they are. It's going to be Ayres. It's going to be Newman. It's going to be Griffiths. You're 1, 2, 3 in the pros. Great job from them. Then further back, Ralph Cullinan comes over the line in 5th. Fiona Siddons is going to take the AM win with Colin Sanson and Mick Barry there as well. So great racing. But it was, I believe... Oh, it wasn't Jamie Ayres.
It was still going.
Oh, we are. We've got one more lap. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, blimey. I lost completely what was going on. I thought it was that one was done.
I thought I'd lost the wrong pictures again then for a second, James, but then I realised it was you. Yeah, we've still got one lap battle left to go.
Oh, blimey, 1 lap X. Completely getting too excited for my own good there as Ayres and Griffiths. Now we've got Newman out on the grass. He's almost been tagged around by Dan Hunt. Cullinan sat in the background. Newman's going off onto the shadow realm on the right-hand side. Now Cullinan and Hunt are going to go side by side. Round the second to last corner. It's still going to be Jamie Ayres, I think, anyway. Here as well, I think it's still going to be Jamie Ayres taking the victory. I think it's going to be Tom Griffiths behind him. Is it going to be Hunt or Cullinan here as well? But it is going to be Jamie Ayres. Ayres is going to wrap this one up, going over the line. Cullinan's going to hold on to 4th with Hunt on the podium and Pete Newman behind that. And now Fiona Siddons wins the AMS.
Like you could predict the future, James.
Oh, well, it's exactly as I said anyway. I wrote it down on a piece of paper as well, to be fair. Getting completely a little bit in a tiz was as Sanson and Owens comes over the line. It's going to be Sanson just. there as well. So Sanson takes second in the AMs, and it's Ez, Griffiths and Hunt in the pros, as Pete Newman got up a little bit wide on the final lap there as well. Let's bring you up the results again here, and it is Jamie Ayres, your winner, with Tom Griffiths, and Dan Hunt, your 1, 2, 3. Then Ralph Cullen and Pete Newman. Steve Hefford wrap off the pros. Sid and Sanson on the AMs with Miles Owens and Mick Barry there as well. Well, that was pretty epic, wasn't it, to be fair as well? Some great racing from these guys.
Yeah, it was a great way to finish the evening. Like I said, I always look forward to race 4, and it certainly delivered for us tonight. So yeah, good. Really like that. It was good, respectful racing. It's exactly what you expect from the UK sim racers, as a great bunch of people. If you want to get involved, then I would urge you to, because you will not find any better, closer, cleaner racing than what you see with these guys.
Yeah, it's been side by side all the way through here as well, and there's been some quality racing from these guys once more. So there you go. I think that is going to wrap it up here this evening as well. I don't think we're going to get any of the drivers into the booth, unfortunately, but it's still been a very exciting night. That's going to wrap it up from us up here in the JPB booth. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Craig Jones here. And as always, guys, don't forget, have a great week. And you never know, we'll see you on the track sometime. Good night.